When most people think of PRS guitar, they think of perfection, a flawless finish, incredible craftsmanship, and a reputation for quality that's second to none. But what if I told you that the real history of PRS is a whole lot messier? It's a story filled with failed experiments, oddball prototypes, and tense encounters with rock legends that the company kept quiet about for years. Behind all that beauty lies a fascinating story of struggle and some very strange decisions. Today we're uncovering the guitar secrets PRS would rather you didn't know. So let's get started. Paul Reed Smith guitars are true icons in the music world, known for their artistry and precision. Played by legends from Carlos Santana to John Mayer, they've worked their way up to compare with the big league players like Fender and Gibson. But the journey from a one-man shop to a global powerhouse wasn't a straight line. It was a winding road of backstage hustle, risky ideas, and battles with industry giants. We're pulling back the curtain on 10 stories that really shaped the brand. These stories show the true grit behind the shiny finishes. Fact number 1, it all started as a college project. Paul Reed Smith's journey didn't begin in some fancy luthier school. In fact, it started as a way to get a few college credits. He built his first guitar for a project, but soon dropped out of college to pursue guitar making full-time. With a small team, he entered a period of intense trial and error, building just 1 or 2 guitars a month, almost entirely by hand. This was the pre-factory era before 1985, where every single instrument was a unique experiment. Fact number 2, the Backstage Hustle. So how did a young, unknown guitar builder get his instruments into the hands of rock royalty? Well, pure old-fashioned hustle. Paul's main marketing strategy was to show up at concerts, find a roadie, and convince them to sneak his guitars backstage to the stars. It was a bold move, but it worked. He got his early custom builds, which sold for around $2,000 back then, into the hands of players like Ted Nugent and Peter Frampton. Fact number 3, the famous dresser drawer guitar. One of the early legends of PRS sounds more like a myth than a business plan. The story goes that Paul built his first ever maple-topped guitar using wood he salvaged from an old dresser drawer. Now, that guitar, later named the Golden Eagle, was sold to Howard Leese of the band Heart. According to lore, you could even see the filled-in holes where the drawer handles used to be. That instrument's beautiful figured top caught everyone's eye and became the visual blueprint that would define the PRS look for decades. Fact number 4, Santana thought his first PRS was a fluke. No name is more connected to PRS than Carlos Santana. But their partnership almost never happened. When Paul first met Santana in the late 70s, Santana was polite, but not sold. A few years later, Paul tried again. This time, Santana was intrigued enough to order a guitar, but he was still cautious. He famously called that first instrument an accident of God, believing that its magical feel and tone could never be duplicated. Fact number 5, Santana's demands led to a key invention. Santana's skepticism pushed Paul to innovate. A major problem for guitarists at the time was the tremolo system. They just wouldn't stay in tune. Santana needed one that worked perfectly, every time. This challenge led directly to Paul developing and patenting the PRS tremolo system in 1984. It became a hallmark of his instruments, solving a problem that plagued countless players and proving that his quality wasn't a fluke. It was engineered. Speaking of quality, a lot of work goes into researching and preparing these videos. If you're enjoying this travel back in time to the hidden history of these great guitars, do me a quick favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel out, and it tells me you want more stories like this one. Now, let's get back to it. Fact number 6, Gibson sued to kill the PRS Singlecut. By the year 2000, PRS was flying high. But when they released a new model called the Singlecut, they ran into a legal brick wall named the Gibson Guitar Corporation. The Singlecut was PRS's version of the classic single cutaway shape made famous by the Les Paul. Gibson immediately filed a lawsuit for trademark infringement, claiming that the PRS guitar would confuse customers. Fact number 7. A judge called Gibson's claim absurd. Gibson's argument was that in a smoky concert hall, someone might mistake a PRS Singlecut for a Les Paul. A district court actually agreed, and in 2004 ordered PRS to completely stop making the Singlecut. It was a devastating blow, but PRS appealed, and in 2005 the appeals court delivered a stunning reversal. The court famously declared that only an idiot would confuse the two guitars in a store, pointing to the obvious differences. The ruling was a massive victory, cementing PRS as a true competitor and not an imitator. Fact number 8. Their first amplifiers were a total flop. While PRS is known for success, its history has some duds. One of the biggest was their first attempt at making amplifiers around 1989. Believing that solid-state technology was the future, they launched the HG series. The amps were expensive, and the market wasn't interested. After shipping only about 350 of them, the entire project was scrapped in about a year. It was a costly mistake. The company doesn't really want to brag about it. Fact number 9. A Gibson legend becomes a PRS mentor. Around the time of that amplifier flop, Paul Reed Smith sought advice from a surprising source, Ted McCarty. Now, if that name sounds familiar, it's because McCarty was the president of Gibson from 1950 to 1966. The man who oversaw the creation of the Les Paul, the SG, and the ES335. Paul began consulting with Ted, learning the secrets of the golden age of guitar making. This mentorship directly led to the PRS McCarty model, a tribute to Ted that became one of PRS brand's most beloved guitars. Fact number 10. The Dragon guitar came from a dream. The final secret lies in the company's obsession with perfection. This is best seen in the legendary Dragon series guitars. As a teenager, Paul Reed Smith had a recurring dream of making a guitar with a dragon inlaid down the neck. In 1992, he finally made that dream a reality. The first Dragon model featured a stunning inlay of over 200 pieces of abalone and pearl. One of those original Dragon-style guitars is now in the Smithsonian Museum. It's a symbol of how a personal dream, combined with an obsession for detail, created some of the most artistic guitars ever made. So, from a guitar made of a dresser drawer to a legal war with Gibson, and the creation of fantastic art, the history of PRS is far more interesting than its perfect finishes let on. The story of hustle, failure, and mentorship show that the company's quality wasn't just achieved, it was hard-won. The strange experiments and backstage gambles weren't just side notes. They were the very things that forged the brand's identity. Behind every perfect instrument lies an imperfect and very human story. So, what's your favorite PRS story or guitar model? Did any of these 10 facts surprise you? Hey, let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. And if you want to keep uncovering the hidden histories of the world's greatest guitars, mods, and practical guitar tips, make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell so you won't miss the next video. Thanks for watching. Check out one of these videos, and don't forget, keep playing.